Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the monthly for May 2018. June 2018. If I look sleep deprived, that's what happens when a new Bethesda game gets announced. So yes, of course, Fallout 76, what a weird name, was announced just the other day. A new Fallout game from Bethesda Game Studios? What? The last game they made was a Fallout game, and then they said they were making 2 games from 2 new IPs before The Elder Scrolls 6. Then the next game was a Fallout game? Something weird's going on. I don't know what it is. I think it might have something to do with Bethesda Game Studios expanding their staff size from 100 to 300. I think that kind of opened gateways to new opportunities for them. But anyway, Fallout 76 is the thing. E3, well, Bethesda's E3 Showcase conference is coming up in 8 days. It's on the 10th. Today's the 2nd. 8 days.
You're a goddamn genius!
So I'm trying not to pay attention to any of the leaks because between like Reddit and 4chan, all that stuff, there's 1,000 million billion leaks about Fallout 76 and other games that are meant to be coming, and then every 10 minutes it's like, well, it turns out this one isn't true, really. So we just gotta hold out for 8 more days, and then we can, hopefully we'll have all the information we need to talk about Fallout 76 properly. But because that's come out, I'm pretty sure that's gonna pave the way for the rest of the content. Definitely all the way up to E3, and then I'm going to be vlogging while I'm at E3. Then afterwards, hopefully we'll just have seas of content to make on new announcements that Bethesda Game Studios has made. I'm so sleep deprived, I'm not even sure if within the last 2 minutes, which is how long I've been recording, whether I've mentioned that I'm sleep deprived at this point. Yep, no idea if I mentioned it, but I just went on the Ham Radio podcast with Mr. Matty Plays and Carrick from ACG. So be sure to stay tuned to Mr. Matty Plays channel and check out that podcast when it goes up. But because they film at nighttime in America, that means it's very, very early morning here in Australia when they film. And given I'm normally going to bed around the time most people are getting up early in the morning, which is exactly when they record, I was like, fuck it, I'll just stay up. There's no point sleeping for an hour to then just get up again, so I've stayed up, I haven't slept yet. So between Fallout 76 and the Ham Radio podcast, very little sleep. I'm channeling my inner oxhorn with the braces or suspenders or whatever we want to call them. So what's going to be coming up this month? Pretty much just that, Fallout 76, and hopefully more Bethesda Game Studios news. And what happened last month, I got destroyed by the Blackreach curating Curiosities video. I thought it was going to be about 20 minutes, you know what I mean? I'm like, Blackreach, pretty contained, small area, probably 20-25 minute video. I'm ready for a 20-25 minute video, I can do that. Turned out to be an 84 minute video, and I think because I was not going into it thinking it was going to be that long, I really wasn't prepared for it, and that ended up taking even longer than it would have if I was prepared to make a video of that length. It took like, I think start to finish was 21 days or something. The 3 CCCs we have left is Winterhold, Sulcan, and Falkreath. Yeah, that's all that's left. Falkreath could kick me in the ass, it could be massive. Again, I'm thinking Sulcan will be about 20 minutes. Might turn out like Blackreach, I don't know. But assuming that Fallout 76 comes out the same time Bethesda Game Studios games normally come out, around November, I'm going to complete Skyrim CCC before then. If it's way sooner than that, we'll see. But I plan on finishing Skyrim CCC in the near future. So, where is the thing? When you get a page up and then click off the page and start browsing other things. There we go. So before we get into the Q&A for this month, of course, if you have any questions you want me to answer, ask them down in the comments below and I might get to them. You know, we get around 500 questions per video. Can't answer all, that's too much. But as promised, to all of my sponsors, people who have chosen to sponsor the channel right here on YouTube, as promised, give you a shout out in this monthly video. So start at the bottom. First sponsor ever, Steve Larson. What the Phoebers, Jaya, Alan May, Anna, Tiny Mr. Man, Fox, Maggie, Andy, US Navy Squid, Hayden Biddy, Agaman, Carl. I'm probably going to pronounce most of these wrong, by the way. Berry123DB, Nathlar, Uncle Brat, Josh LaFortune, Midnight Lemon, Joshua Wilson, Richard Godzilla Anto, Cyborg Jiro, Krista Kelsenberg, Icaro Rossas, Chris Morels, Jacob Spruiel, Luna Doza, Zagaroth, Faxi Kendo Gunshop, Ballista 1000, Nathaniel Scammell, Main's Workshop, Danny Davila, Big Boy Jimmy, List4 Hates, Joshua Harlow, Jelly Knight, Toby Oliver, and Ellie Tessia St. Jean. Thank you to you guys, my sponsors. It's really heartwarming to know that you guys are willing to sponsor the channel. That's really cool. And I hope you guys stick around and keep enjoying the content. Again, thank you to all of you. That's really awesome. You guys are willing to sponsor this channel here on YouTube. It means a lot. All right, so now let's get on to the Q&A. Hey, Joseph Seed, I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. Shh. You are not like anything I expected you to look like. May you have a prosperous month. Now, I added that because I read that like 3 times and thought it said, may you have a prosperous mouth. And that had me all like, prosperous mouth? Did you have support for your dyslexia or you gotten beaten up like me? I didn't get any support for it and my parents thought I was a loser and an idiot. Still think I am. Dyslexia, it is something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Support. Not really. Support in the sense of like reading lessons and stuff, but dude, when your brain's basically showing you the matrix, that stuff doesn't really help. And of course there are completely different levels of dyslexia. Basically my ADD makes it hard when there's just a bunch of words on a piece of paper. It's like everything's just like, and it's hard to concentrate on like a line of text. It's just big concentrations bouncing all over the page. And then the dyslexia mixes in with that and basically takes letters of words or shapes of words and flips them, like before how I misread month as mouth. Stuff like tournament and torment will just get mixed up into like, I kind of like see the length and shape of the word rather than reading the word. And then oftentimes I'll go back and reread it and it's something completely different. Do you think they will ever make a game around Elsewhere? Yes, except the whole Khajiit society is a complicated one. Which of the great houses did you choose in Morrowind Redoran? Thank you very much. And do you think that Indoril Great House should have been included in Vardenfell? Indoril, I'm pretty sure that was not knocking around. Yeah, so in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, there were 0 characters with the last name Indoril, which means that great house, the Great House of Indoril, gone. Hey Camel, love the channel and your work. In your opinion, do you think that Azura is in league with the Ideal Masters? Do you think that when a soul is trapped in Azura Star, it is sent to the soul can like normal soul gems? Thanks. I'm pretty sure any soul trapped within Azura Star is sent to Azura's Plane of Oblivion, which is escaping me. Colored Rooms is Meridia's. Oh man, what it's like Moonshadow or some goofy thing. Plains of Oblivion. Moonshadow. Is that what I said? God, I am so tired. I can't even remember what I said just then. Anyway, it's Moonshadow. And I don't think any of the Daedric princes are working with the Ideal Masters. My question is, when is CCC Falkreath coming? One day. One of my geography teachers has the Oblivion map on his cupboard. That's cool. I think you might be learning the geography of the wrong areas. Your head is too big for those Harry Potter glasses. I do have a massive head. There's a picture of my friend Matt and I standing at this party and there's like a string of lanterns in the background and everyone's heads are there. And then we're on either end and our heads are just these like perfect lantern-sized spheres. Hello Camel, Bethesda kidnaps you and will not let you go until you design a side quest for them for the Elder Scrolls 6. What manner of quest do you give them?
How about the settlement problem? Another settlement needs our help. I'll mark it on your map.
Are you gonna vlog this year's E3? You should. The adventures of Camel vlogs are awesome. I will be vlogging, yes. Top 10 plants in Skyrim. Nernroad times 10, boy. Are there any hints to the Elder Scrolls 6's storyline in previous games, like the books on the shelves in Daggerfall with the names on it of later games? Was that Daggerfall? I thought that was at the start of Redguard. Probably, maybe. It's impossible to tell, because we don't know what the Elder Scrolls 6 is. Therefore, we can't tell if anything's referencing it. Hey Camel, are you ever going to do a complete history guide for the whole Elder Scrolls, starting from the beginning up until Skyrim? I've created a timeline, but it's very complicated. If you want to use it, you're welcome. Thank you. And ooh, it just sounds complicated. I think making lore videos on smaller, more compact pieces of lore is a better idea. Because when it comes to covering these massive topics, a lot of the time I have to be like, to explain one crazy concept, you need to understand another crazy concept, and to understand that, you need to understand 3 other pieces of lore. So I think doing the little bits, and then I can make a medium bit and be like, if you need to know about this, check this out. If you need to know about this, check this out. And then work my way up to these giant, super complicated metaphysical pieces of lore. Letter from a friend video, who is it? Not gonna say, but I do need to make that video at some point. So here's my question. What is the music you used in the Sinistral Elves video? It drives me insane. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because there's a camera stand right in front of the screen, which is brilliant. It drives me insane because it's really cool. Of course your voice is soothing and an acoustic treasure, but still the music is all its own glory. Would be nice. In all of that song, oh, for God's sake, where the Darkened Depths is what that track is called. It's from the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind soundtrack. Track 16, Darkened Depths, is the piece of music I used throughout the Sinistral Elf lore video. Would you want a remaster of Morrowind and or Oblivion? Yes. However, I would prefer Bethesda Game Studios did, you know, worked on a new game rather than revamping old ones. But if they did revamp them, yeah, it's pretty cool. If Borderlands 3 is announced at E3, will you produce Borderlands 3 content on release? Never played Borderlands. Hey Camel, what's up with Blackreach? Why is it important? Because it was full of Ethereum, which the Dwemer wanted to harvest to create very powerful ethereal artifacts. Hey Camel, where did you get your Morrowind map? I have that one that came from the box back in 2002 and looks like yours, but yours has that square in the bottom left, which mine doesn't. Plus, do you play Xbox? I don't play on Xbox. And the square in the bottom of the map for Morrowind is because it's the Game of the Year edition, and it has the map of Mournhold from the Tribunal DLC. What's your most played game of all time? In all honesty, it's probably World of Warcraft. Played it on and off since vanilla, which was, I think it was 13 years ago, and it's one of those games you put a lot of time into.
For the Alliance.
Is it true horse armor is the best in Elder Scrolls 6? Do you think they'll add house armor? I think some hummus armor would be pretty useful. I don't know what I just read. So let's move on. You look like a male version of Maisie Williams. I don't know if that's a compliment to me or a diss to her.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's shocking.
What's better, Oblivion's DLCs or Skyrim's DLCs? Oblivion's DLCs as a whole versus Skyrim's DLCs as a whole, I would say Skyrim, because we got 2 big DLCs, which I like. There are other 2 big things that I enjoy as well. But I think Shivering Isles as a standalone DLC was probably superior.
What? What did you say? What did you say?
Do you think Fallout and the Elder Scrolls are in the same universe?
Sooner or later you're going to realize, just as I did, there's a difference between
Fallout and the Elder Scrolls.
Do you think Bethesda will get a new engine? Yes. Hey Camel, I don't now that this possible, as someone that struggles reading when people type their sentences strangely, it's just like, am I wigging out or is this typed weirdly? Hey Camel, I don't now that this possible, but could you please make more Dwemer videos? I am fascinated by their cities, lore, armor, weapons, etc. Yes, again, the Dwemer are a pretty big topic to tackle. So I think making smaller lore videos on specific things and then building up to a bigger, more general lore video is how things like this will transpire. Have you tried to meet up with Post Malone since you were separated at birth? Sadly, no. If anyone can sort that out, hit me up. Please tell us what track you use in your CCC videos. Love it. The quality of your videos is amazing. Thank you. And it's a track called Atmospheres, which I wrote myself. I'll have a link in the cards. There should be a little eye at the top of the screen. Click that and there'll be a link to the full album stream. The first song is Atmospheres, which is the track used in the CCC videos. How Is this happening? You are making videos about video games. Whew, what a sentence. Why aren't you drinking VB? There's some VB in the fridge, and I'm not interested because it's midday. Oh god, that reminds me of that old dude necking the VB.
If you're a fucking fair dinkum fucking full-grown Aussie, this is what you'd have for breakfast, you fucking dog cunts. A fucking VB long neck.
Do you play any tabletop RPGs such as D&D, Pathfinder, etc.? I do not. Once a year I play Monopoly and crush my cousins. Is there a reason to live? To watch all of my videos? Would you prefer Starfield to be in the Fallout universe or to be its own thing? Its own thing, for sure. Oh boy, that chin looks so good. Can you do the history of the Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls? Like how often they are used and all in-game appearances. I have a full 26-minute lore video on the Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls series. How often they are used and make appearances. The first time an Elder Scrolls is ever seen in game is in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion during the Thieves Guild quest. Then we see one in Skyrim, and then we see two more in Skyrim's Dawnguard DLC. I want to say that's it, and I'm pretty confident that's it, but I know if I say that's it, someone will be like, dude, don't you remember the fifth one? It would be nice to see a video about how you make your videos, Camel, editing and all. Maybe one day, maybe I don't want to reveal my secrets. My secret is working for 14 hours a day. What's the highest level you ever reached in Skyrim while playing legit? Honestly, not a clue. Not a clue. Explain why Stalhrim gets more frost damage, because it's cold. Hi Camel, love your videos. What was the most difficult thing for you to capture in-game footage for, like random events, certain characters? Probably just that, random events. What are they called? Random encounters, things like that. The most recent one was for Neloth's, not Neloth, oh my god, Tarandreth's robes. It took like 6 hours to find him. It was brutal. And a lot of the time, if you use console commands to spawn the character in, that's not enough. It needs to be triggered by an actual random encounter code activating or something. Whenever I spawn in someone with console commands who's involved in a random encounter, they just like don't speak to you. So it's like, oh bro, I have to actually run into this person naturally, and sometimes it's brutal. Hey Camel, is it possible that they released the Elder Scrolls 6 between the two new IPs rather than after both of them? I would say no, but Todd did say that they're gonna make two new games from two new IPs, then the Elder Scrolls 6. Then what happens? The next game we get is a Fallout game? What the what? So who knows? I have no idea what they're doing. Who knows? At this point, who knows what's going on? Hey Camel, what's the name of the song in these videos? It's called Jungle Walking 2 by someone whose name I can't remember. Someone Skyberg or something. Curse Network, the YouTube network I'm with, basically team up with some people and they're just like, here's a giant library of music you can use for free because you're with Curse. This was one of them and I used it. Camel, you look like Harry Potter with those amazing glasses. Also, if Dwemer went missing a long time ago, would you like the Elder Scrolls 6 to be in the past and see why they went missing? I think part of the draw to the Dwemer is their mystery. You know what I mean? As soon as something mysterious is explained, it's not mysterious. It's the classic, like, once you learn how a magic trick is done, it's instantly the least interesting thing imaginable. But when it's a mystery and you don't know how it's done, like you lose sleep at night thinking about it, right? I think the Dwemer is like that. Could you please make a video correcting the people who keep trying to say that ESO is the reason the Elder Scrolls 6 isn't being made yet? Or at least address that irrational misconception in your next Q&A. That's not an irrational misconception at all. It's actually a backed up theory by Bethesda's staff. Basically, the Elder Scrolls Online exists. Last year was its best financial year. All MMOs have a life cycle, and once ESO dies down, then they'll make the Elder Scrolls 6. At the moment, they don't need to make the Elder Scrolls 6 because Skyrim's still selling, and the Elder Scrolls Online makes ZeniMax lots of money. So ESO doing well is the reason the Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't need to be made. In however many years, when the Elder Scrolls Online dies down, time for the Elder Scrolls 6 to step in. Hey Camel, I was wondering if you would ever make a lore video based on Devaith Fear. Would be fantastic to learn more about him. Yes. Camel, would you make a video on insert any piece of lore? The answer is yes. It's just a matter of that's a big topic to tackle. And with certain things, I would prefer to have more information first. Like, Devathir is probably one of the most interesting characters in the Elder Scrolls, but at this point we don't know whether he's alive or not. I would prefer to know what he's up to now before we start talking about him. Do you think that Skyrim will be a game that will continue to be played even after Bethesda releases the next Elder Scrolls game? Yep. Still play Oblivion, still play Morrowind, Zarek still plays Daggerfall. Yeah. There's no reason it wouldn't be. Who do you prefer, Dagoth-Ur or the Tribunal, and were the Tribunal and Dagoth-Ur all considered living gods at the time of the Elder Scrolls 3? The answer to the last part, yes, they were.
What a fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a god?
All four of them, Dagoth-Ur and the three members of the Tribunal, Vivek, Al-Malexia, and Sothasil, are all super interesting characters in the Elder Scrolls lore. I was thinking about this the other day. When you meet Dagoth-Ur, he's the most friendly of the four. Not that you meet Sothasil, but you meet Vivek and you meet Al-Malexia. And Dagoth-Ur is genuinely, he's the antagonist of the main quests in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and he's actually the nicest one.
Welcome, Moon and Star, to this place where destiny is made.
But do I have a preference? No. Do you have a brother? Yep. If they were to do a Fallout game outside of the US, where would you like to see it set? Somewhere where they speak English and somewhere with guns. How would you feel if the Elder Scrolls 6 was in Morrowind again? Completely feasible, because the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind was set on an island called Vardenfell, which is like a third of the province of Morrowind, right? So 2/3 of Morrowind we haven't seen. It'd be like if the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim was just Winterhold and the Pale. And they're like, alright, that's Skyrim done. You'd be like, there's a lot more of Skyrim we haven't seen. Let's get in there. Well, that is actually the case for Morrowind. We saw Vardenfell, and there's this huge horseshoe-shaped bit of land at the bottom, which we haven't seen. Could you do something about some Elder Scrolls games before Morrowind? It would be interesting. PS love your videos. It's more of an issue of getting them to work on modern day computers. It's impossible. Furthest back I've actually successfully gone and filmed was Battlespire, and that was brutal. I needed some footage from level 3 or 4, can't remember. Took like 6 days to get that footage. Who is Karstag? Please make lore vid about him. He was a frost giant. There's a little bit, there's not that much to cover, but I did talk about him for a minute or two in my Reikling lore video. Check that out. Wait, you compose music? How am I only just finding this out? Is there anywhere we can listen to it or purchase it? Yeah, the link. I'll put a link everywhere. Do you prefer Apple or Android? What is your current phone? I prefer Apple just because I've had Apple. In terms of techiness, I couldn't give a fuck. It's like, dude, what brand of scissors do you use? The brand that cuts shit? I'm so not into phones, I have no idea what model this is. I don't know how to see what model it is. If I can coli, that's all I care about, really. You look like someone who sells old maps. How did you know? What music genres / artists do you listen to? Anything mainstream, e.g. Post Malone / Kendrick? Nothing mainstream like that, no. I listen to a lot of... Pretty much with everything, I like a big sense of atmosphere. So a lot of the metal I listen to, it's metal, but it's also got this massive atmospheric element. And then I listen to a lot of dark ambient music. There's a YouTube channel called Cryo Chamber. It's perfect for, like, you know, when I'm writing a script or if I'm editing audio. You can't really have a song with someone singing because it's like someone singing over your voice and it's just a mess. But with these big ambient tracks they produce, it's perfect. And then of course I listen to a lot of movie and game soundtracks because they're great. Where did you get your awesome glasses? From Specsavers. I can't think of a meaningful question, but can you put me in anyway? Was that the end? That is the end! That is the end of the Q&A. 73 questions deep. Damn. Well, I hope this hasn't been too weird. I have that feeling, you know, when you're like sick and you go to sleep and then you wake up and it's like 3 p.m. but you don't know if it's the morning or what day it is, and you're a bit like, where, why? I feel like Robin Williams in Jumanji, just like, what year is it? Super tired and haven't slept, and it's like 1 in the afternoon. So once again, thank you to my sponsors. Expect more Fallout 76 stuff coming up, especially with E3 coming up, man. It's going to be the normal video stuff, like Skyrim stuff. Let's put that on hold for a minute, and let's experience the Fallout 76 hype train. Oh, and again, I was on the Ham Radio podcast. Feel free to check that out on Mr. Manny Plays channel. So thanks very much for watching. If you do have any questions, leave them down below. I'm going to either sleep or make some Fallout videos. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.